So who's got 2 thumbs and totally botched his anime review month? This guy. I apologize, guys. I thought there was 31 days in November, so I am 1 day behind by the end of my November month. But it's okay. Even though I'm a total baka, today we can talk about Rokka, Braves of the Six Flowers, aka Rokka no Yusha. Now, Rokka no Yusha is a fantasy, mystery, action sort of anime based about, it's this fantasy realm, and there are demonic beings, and they are thwarted. The only people that could really fight them are the Braves of the Six Flowers. And the Braves are 6 people chosen every generation or so. And there's always 6. There's no more, no less. And you can identify them by they have a crest in their bodies, be the back of their hand, their chest, their back, or whatever. And they all have this same crest. And it is their destiny, really, to meet up and defeat the demonic kings or something like that. Something kind of generic in terms of villain's name. But they're supposed to kill the evil. And what that perfect setup, it should work in a normal world, right? But what happens when an extra brave shows up? Like I said, there's always 5. There's always 6. There is never 7. There is never 5. So, what are they going to do if an extra one were to show up? And, well, you guessed it. That's what happens here in this show. There are 7 braves that show up at the temple. Among them is our main character, Adelit Meyer. And Adelit Meyer proclaims that he is the strongest man in the world. And he says this kind of over and over again. And what's kind of interesting is he doesn't really fight like you would think the strongest man in the world would fight. He kind of fights with like trickery and like poisons and like little like tiny blades and like stuff that people can step in. But he's very, very cunning. I actually really, really liked him as a main character. And with him we have 6 other supposedly braves who all have different powers and are usually the saint of something. Like there's one who's the saint of gunpowder, there's one who's the saint of blades. And each of these characters fights in a different way, and their personality is very different. That's one thing I really, really liked about the show, were the characters. And when they get together, they realize that something's amiss, because there should not be 7 of us. And that kicks in the cool mystery aspect of the show, where they try and figure out who is this extra brave. Because obviously that person is working for the evil demons, and they are trying to thwart our plan here, and we can't let that continue. So this causes basically most of the series to kind of stall a little bit, and as you try and figure out, who's legitimate in all this. And, well, let's talk about what I really liked. I already mentioned that I really liked the characters. Adlet is very cool. All of the Braves themselves, they all fight kind of differently. Some are cooler than others. I really like Goldov, but I feel like he didn't get enough screen time. And I'm really hoping if there's another season, maybe he'll get some more screen time. I really like the world in which it takes place. You have this like fantasy setting with like kind of these like furry looking people. There's like some people, like there's a bunny girl, she has like bunny ears, and then Adlet's like hair is like really long and kind of looks like fire. And then there's a girl who's kind of like a toad thing, and there's a really cool guy who like fights like a cat and he talks like a cat, which is going to be kind of interesting when they do this in a dub, because I don't know what they're going to do. They have him like meow all the time. I have no idea. But I really like the world that this takes place in. I really like the action scenes. The fight scenes in this are very cool, and they make you like think a lot, because there's the mystery element, and you really don't know how a character is going to react and how they're going to fight and how they're going to treat each other while they're fighting. And I really like the story in concept. In concept, it sounded, when I first heard about it, it sounded like such a cool, sort of unique thing, and I was really wondering how it was, going to be executed. Which leads me into what I really didn't like about the show, was the story execution. While it was an interesting concept, I feel as if we spent like 12 episodes trying to figure out something that could have been done in like 6 or even 4. And while they do a good job of introducing each character, the fact that it took 12 episodes to kind of solve the mystery just was a little slow for me. And this is coming from an Inuyasha fan, someone who can handle really, really slow anime. I just thought it was a little slow in that regard. I also did not like the 3D animation that they use. The monsters that they fight, these like demon things, are often animated with like CGI kind of stuff, and it's kind of like a personal thing. I just really don't like that in anime as much. I really didn't like Deus Ex Machina in Future Diary. I thought he looked like garbage, and I didn't think that these villains like looked that good in the show either. But the rest of the animation's really good. The openers are really good. The music's pretty good overall. And the last thing, and probably the biggest thing I really didn't like about this, was the ending. I don't know if there's going to be a second season, but there really like has to be, because endings are really important to me. And the way this one ended, it solved the mystery that we were trying to figure out, but then it kind of screws you over with that. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but it left me kind of confused, and I'm just wondering why they went the way they did. And I just really questioned, like, what's next? Like, what are they going to do? And we won't know until there's another season, which I don't know. I really hope there is, but if this is it, then I really just didn't like that. But it didn't take away the fact that Rokka is a very enjoyable anime for the most part. It's a short watch. I got through it in like 2 days, and you should definitely check it out. It's on Crunchyroll. That's where I watched it. And yeah, if you're into mystery shows, if you're into action and fantasy genre, you're definitely gonna like this. Overall, I give Rokka Braves of the Six Flowers a C+. Not a perfect anime, but, you know, not horrible. So yeah, tell me what you guys thought of Rokka, and tell me put down below who your favorite one of the Braves was. And I know I was surprised by who was the actual, like, fake Brave. Maybe I've been told that it wasn't that surprising. Maybe I'm just dumb. But tell me who your favorite Brave down was below. Mine was Goldov. And yeah, tell me why. And as always, guys, subscribe if you like what I'm doing here. Stay tuned. And next time, I'm going to be talking about God Eater. As always, guys, this is the All-American Critic, signing out.